This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Is it enough for this love I give? I wanna step up to the mark for him. Sometimes the pressure I feel is real. I wanna give in, I wanna give in.
Following program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, it doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you so know it, and so do I. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today's Monday, August the 18th of 2025, day 230th of the year, and only 135 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big, streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Oh yes, coming across that multiverse of ours, no doubt about that, as we are doing our stuff. So let's start talking. Our show consists of safety in the news and safety. That's just kind of the way that we go about it. Talk a little bit about everything that's going on inside of this world. Because what else would we be doing? I mean, come on, let's really think about that for a moment. So outside of that, if you want to interact with the show, it's a simple process. Callinradio.com. Callinradio.com. We'll get everything moving and grooving for you. Once you get there, audio, video, text messaging, that's the way it kind of goes about. And then we kind of move on and say, isn't life grand? That's kind of how the end around goes, no doubt there. So with that being said, why don't we do this? Why don't we start talking about what the hell was trending in the overnight? So let's do that.
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as I take a look at the trends of the ends, it goes something like this. Notable and noteworthy, ChatGPT gets a friendly overhaul. Let's see, a couple of celebrities' legal follow-ups. We'll talk about that in showbiz. Gal Gadot is disappointed over the lack of interest in the live-action Snow White. We'll talk about that in casting details, because why would we not discuss this? And then what else? The Wallaces are moving on up in the Royals. So, some stuff to talk about for sure, no doubt there. So, with that being said, I have some friends from Feature Story News. They come in, they start talking, they start telling us a little bit about everything that's going on. So, if you're ready to go, I'm ready to go. I have my friends from Feature Story News here, and I think they're ready to do their thing. So, I think I'm ready to do mine. So, let's do that.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Donald Trump has told the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky he must agree to give up Crimea and never join NATO. The US President has posted his wishes on social media just hours before a series of White House meetings that could decide the fate of Ukraine and the end of the conflict. Nick Harper reports from Washington.
Donald Trump will meet President Zelensky for a one-on-one meeting on Monday before joining the other 6 European leaders who will also be at the White House for talks. And if Donald Trump rolled out the red carpet for President Putin, he's laying down the gauntlet for President Zelensky. In a post on social media, he told Zelensky to agree to Russia's conditions, namely to give up Crimea and to never join NATO. What's not clear is what concessions, if any, Russia is willing to make. I'm Nick Harper in Washington.
Hundreds of thousands of people joined protests in Tel Aviv calling for an end to the war in Gaza. Organisers of the demonstration say the government's plans to take control of Gaza City put the lives of hostages held by Hamas at risk. Trade frictions between Washington and New Delhi have resurfaced after the US abruptly called off a scheduled round of negotiations later this month. Kshitij Nagar reports from New Delhi.
US negotiators were to be in New Delhi on the 25th of August, but that visit has now been cancelled, with no new dates announced, according to a report by Reuters. The talks were expected to cover agriculture, dairy access, digital trade, and India's continued imports of Russian oil. The collapse comes as the Trump administration prepares to hike tariffs on Indian goods by up to 50%, a move that could hit textiles, gems, and auto parts especially hard. Analysts say the pause underscores growing mistrust in the relationship, even as India begins rolling out credit guarantees to cushion small exporters from Washington's trade measures.
China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi is meeting his Indian counterpart S. Jaishankar on Monday amid softening ties between Asia's 2 largest economies. Wang Yi is also holding border talks with India's National Security Advisor on Tuesday. Ishan Garg reports from New Delhi.
We understand that India and China have already completed the process of disengagement from multiple friction points along their thousands of kilometers long border along the Himalayan region. But the process of de-escalation, which effectively means pulling back of tens of thousands of troops from either side of the border, that is still continuing. So this is going to be very important for both countries to try and make some progress here. The other item on the agenda, of course, is setting the stage for Prime Minister Narendra Modi's very high-stake meeting with President Xi Jinping that's scheduled for later this month.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, more on Monday's showdown in Washington as President Volodymyr Zelensky and European leaders come together to try and persuade President Trump to abandon his weekend U-turn on Ukraine. The president says he's no longer interested in a short-term ceasefire, instead wants to move to full-scale negotiations that would see Ukraine surrender large portions of the eastern Donbass region to Russia.
What looked in the immediate aftermath of that Alaska meeting as a success for Putin now looks actually even more worrying and even more dangerous.
Lord Kim Darroch is a former British ambassador to Washington.
Trump has been on a journey from initially when he entered the Oval Office, appearing to think the answer on a quick deal on the Ukraine war was simply to give Putin everything he wanted. The territory, promise that Ukraine will never join NATO for the rest of time, and Ukrainian disarmament. And you had that disastrous encounter in the Oval Office. And since then, Trump has moved towards being much more critical of Putin and appears to have struck up a rather better relationship with Zelensky. And then you have this summit, and it looks to have shifted back. So it looks very worrying.
That's the shared European perspective after Friday's summit in Alaska that now appears to have driven Presidents Trump and Putin much closer together. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories, Donald Trump's told the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky he must agree to give up Crimea and never join NATO. Hundreds of thousands have joined protests in Tel Aviv calling for an end to the war in Gaza. The US has called off a scheduled round of trade negotiations later this month with India, and China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi is meeting his Indian counterpart S. Jaishankar on Monday amid softening ties between Asia's 2 largest economies. That's the latest feature story news. Ollie Barrett reporting.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' Best Life Insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, there you go. 15 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out on this lovely Monday. So let's start talking right away about some things that were happening over the last little bit. President Trump and Vladimir Putin mutually agreed that they had a productive meeting on Friday, though neither nation immediately confirmed any details. Many points were agreed to, Trump said, without providing any specifics, adding just, as cryptically as anything, we have a very good chance of getting there, whatever there is. However, Trump said, we're going to stop thousands of people a week from getting killed. Trump said another meeting would happen soon. Putin suggested lightheartedly that it would happen in Moscow. That's the interesting one, Trump replied. Early Saturday, Trump revealed that some of the details on Truth Social, writing that he spoke with Vladimir Zelensky and NATO's leadership, adding that it was determined that by the best way that and to end the horrific war between Russia and Ukraine, to go directly to peace agreement, which would end the war and not a mere ceasefire agreement, which oftentimes do not hold up. So there you go. What else did it say? Let's see. Zelensky is headed to the White House today, Monday. He'll be joined by European leaders, including UK Prime Minister, President of France, the President of the European Commission. Trump says that if those go well, that a meeting with Putin will be scheduled. Sources have suggested that it could happen as soon as Friday and potential to be hosted at the White House. Stammer issued a statement Saturday, supportive of the next steps, underscoring Zelensky's involvement of moving forward. I welcome the openness of the United States alongside Europe to provide robust security guarantees to Ukraine as part of any deal, and the importance of progress that will be crucial in determining Putin's from coming back for more, as he wrote the part. News also leaked the First Lady Melania Trump wrote a letter to Putin, which her husband hand-delivered on Friday, asking him to end fighting for the sake of the children who have been displaced and abducted through the hostileness. So, there you go. And then, by the way, one of the most astonishing statements came from Putin, who said that it's true that there never would have been a war if Trump had been in office. So there you go. And Vlad meets with the mob. When highlight of the day was that Putin's reaction to shouted questions about the medical press pull. So there you go. Definitely some things going on inside of the world. What do you think about all this mess? I always kind of look around and go, I'm not 100% sure what's going on half the time, but I think we kind of already know that. That's not an amazing surprise thing that I just told you there. So a lot of stuff going on, and I guess, very little time to discuss some of these things sometimes as we are talking and moving and grouping. So take a listen to this. Crooks in Seattle made off with $2 million of various luxury jewelry during a daytime smash and grab robbery last week. Let's see. 4 masked men stormed into the shop of one of the suspects, kept workers at the bay with bear spray and a taser. While others smashed 6 glass cases of the displays that were out with hammers. They made off with about $750,000 worth of Rolexes and a single necklace worth $125,000. The owner of the store says that they were pretty shook up, but they'll be closed for a while. No word yet on any kind of leads. I mean, I remember a few years back, there was a lot of smash and grabs going on with a whole bunch of jewelry stores that I kept on taking a look at online. It seemed to be kind of like a popular thing where that was going, people, they would just come and smash the stuff and then just grab everything that they could and make a run for it. They would do it in broad daylight too, which was kind of the astonishing portion of the whole thing when it was all said and done. So I don't know. Some interesting times for sure as we are talking. 20 minutes past the top of the hour. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, is preparing a stock sale worth around $6 billion at $500 billion company valuation. As recently as March, the company raised $40 billion in cash at a $300 billion valuation. The sales of the round included stock in current and previous employees of the tech company looking to make a few bucks. The sale comes as OpenAI tweaks its latest model, ChatGPT 5, after users, thought that it lost some of its personality. This is according to CNBC. On Friday, the company posted on X that it'll be making ChatGPT 5 warmer and friendlier, adding changes to the subtle, but ChatGPT should feel more approachable now. Or, hear me out. Maybe don't rely on a chat box for all your information, or go outside once in a while. And if you do, don't be offended if your internet robot friends hurt your feelings. And by the way, the GPT in ChatGPT stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So, there you go. There you go. A lot of stuff going on there, no doubt about that. I don't know. I keep on looking at this and going, man, it's an interesting time with a lot of the stuff with these large model bots and all this kind of fun stuff that we're doing. I mean, no doubt there whatsoever in regards to what's going on. So what do you think? What do you think about this whole mess? I'm always asking because I'm always curious on what other people are going like, yeah, this makes some sense. This doesn't make sense, and so on. Okay, let's continue talking. The Olympics in Los Angeles will be the first time sponsors can buy naming rights to the venues at the game. Two major companies have already bought the undisclosed sums. Honda's name is attached to Volleyball Arena in Anaheim, and Comcast bought the rights of naming the squash venue. The International Olympic Committee had previously barred the practice, but has eased up on this time around. Part of the Los Angeles bid was that the games, including the pledge to fully funded a private partnership and do not build any new facilities. LA previously hosted the games in 1932 and 1984. This is according to USA Today. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse. Okay, what else do we have for you? What else? Okay, here you go. Take a listen to this one. A library book was recently returned to the San Antonio Public Library 82 years after it was past due. The book, Your Child, His Family, and Friends, was checked out in July of 1943. Let's see. The person who returned the book attached the letter noting, I hope there is no late fees now because grandma won't be able to pay for it anymore. While the library eliminated the overdue fines years ago, had one been due for the book, it would have amounted to $900. But that's in 1943 amounts. Today's money would have been more like $16,000 for the Bureau of Labor Statistics inflation calculation. So there you go. Who would have expected that, right?
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
And by the way, whoever came up with the book fine thing at the library, I'm kind of interested about that. I guess we could take a look if we wanted to, if we cared so much. Okay, take a listen to this. Actor Tristan Rogers has died. He passed away on Friday after a battle with lung cancer. Rogers is best known for his role as Robert Scorpio on General Hospital. Also, English actor Terence Stamp has died. He passed away on Sunday, according to a statement from his family. No further detail was given. Stamp is best known for his role in the Kryptonian supervillain in Superman 2. He was 87 at the time of his passing. So there you go. Okay, so let's start talking real quick about what happened at the box office over the weekend, because some people will care about that. Coming in at number 10 was Cooley with $2.4 million, and number 9 was F1 the movie, $2.6 million. At number 8, Jurassic World Rebirth with $2.9 million. At number 7, Naked Gun, $4.8 million. At number 6 is Superman with $5.2 million. At number 5, The Bad Guys Part 2 with $7.5 million. The Fantastic Four First Steps, $8.8 million at number 4. At number 3 was Nobody with $9.2 million. And that was Nobody 2, just in case. Also at number 2 was Freakier Friday with $14.5 million. And then coming back in at number 1 again was Weapons with $25 million. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there. No doubt about that. So with that being said, let's continue talking. In a bizarre interview last month, Hunter Biden claimed that without evidence in the Jeffrey Epstein, that the setup that was President Trump and Melania. After the interview went live, lawyers for the First Lady demanded a retraction from Hunter or face a $1 billion lawsuit. The demand letter said that Hunter's comments caused overwhelming financial and reputational harm. On Thursday last week, Hunter appeared on the same YouTube interview and show hosted by the interviewer, journalist Andrew Callahan. And when given the opportunity to retract, Hunter doubled down. He said, "Fuck that, not going to happen." He said Hunter is leaning on reporting the sensationalized author Michael Wolff's, whose reporting across a variety of topics over the years has been derided and unreliable source in regards to what's going on. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on for sure as we are talking. Doubling down on stuff. People are like, you're just really losing it when it comes to things. But whatever, I guess that's just kind of how it goes now as we are talking. Okay, what else do we got? Okay, the Dow ticked up about 34 points to close at 44,946 on Friday, and the S&P fell about 18 points to close at 6,449, and the Nasdaq fell about 87 points to close at 21,622. West Texas Intermediate closed at $63 a barrel on Friday, and Brent crude was at 66. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.15 on Friday, and Bitcoin was, trading over the weekend just around $118,000. Tonight's Mega Million drawing will be for $216 million jackpot or a $97 million cash payout. Tonight's Powerball drawing will be for $605 million jackpot or a $273.4 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, I guess you have the opportunity to do so. But that is entirely up to you. Okay, take a listen to this one. Follow up, Sean Kingston was sentenced to 3.5 years in prison last week after being convicted of $1 million wire fraud scheme. For years, the rapper reportedly used his fame to convince sellers to give him luxury items and then never paid them. Both Kingston and his mother were convicted in March. She was sentenced last month to 5 years in prison. This is according to THR. Anyways, take a listen to this follow-up real quick. Reality star Tarek El Moussa is off the hook for his Las Vegas battery case from June. A judge dismissed the misdemeanor battery charge with prejudice earlier this month after the flip or flop star completed impulse control counseling and stayed out of trouble. It's previously reported Tarek got into a scuffle with another man at the Palazzo at the Venetian Resort, he claims was harassing his elderly father. So there you go. You know what you have, man?
An serious impulse control problem.
Yeah, I'm sure I've heard that somewhere before. No doubt about that as we are talking.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, let's take a listen to this one. Sam's threw some shade on Britney Spears' ex, Kevin Federline, releasing a tell-all book. Speaking to TMZ about the news, Sam says that with a smirk, that K-Fed is a professional father, and it would be great for him to share his first ever book instructing others on how one to be. Federline shares 2 sons with Spears, as well as a son and a daughter with his ex, Shar Jackson, and the 2 daughters with current wife Victoria Prince. Meanwhile, Sam Agzari also shared that he and his girlfriend, realtor Brooke Irvine, are doing amazing. I'm glad that somebody's doing amazing about being amazing, because that's amazing to hear that somebody else is doing amazing, right? I think so. Okay, so take a listen to this. Tom Cruise denies the invitation from President Donald Trump to be one of this year's Kennedy's Center honorees. While his official reasoning was due to scheduling conflicts, insiders believe that the actor wasn't too keen of sharing a stage with the president, who is also hosting this year's award. Honorees who are attending, including are members of KISS, actor Michael Crawford, country singer George Strait, and Gloria Gardner, and let's see who else, Sylvester Stallone. So there you go. Okay, so let's see if we can do 2 real quick before we get too far. A one-of-a-kind basketball card featuring Michael Jordan and the late Kobe Bryant is expected to sell for over $6 million. The card is from 2007-2008 Upper Deck Exquisite Collection and features autographs from both the NBA greats as well as a logo patch. As of the weekend, the Heritage Auctions say that the latest bid sits at about $5 million, according to TMZ. Okay, take a listen to this one real quick. Playboy Enterprises is Florida bound. The magazine company is officially leaving behind the global headquarters in Los Angeles and relocating to Miami Beach because of the high cost of doing business in California. So that's what's going on. I guess they're becoming bi-coastal. That's kind of the way that it goes. That's the way the stuff happens. Anyways, currently 32 minutes past the top of the hour, and maybe it's time to talk about that thing that we call our main story.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Yeah, when you press the main story button and something entirely different comes up, you kind of always have some questions about things that are going on. No doubt about that. So let's talk about a lot of stuff that's going on inside of the world, because I think that we always have time to sit around and shoot the breeze, if one may call it that way, in regards to the stuff that's going on. And I keep on looking and going around and taking a look at some of these things that are going on within our workplaces and going on with some of the stuff that's happening inside of the multiverse. And I look at it and I go, I'm not following one thing. Are standards getting better or are standards getting worse? Because here's what I've always enjoyed talking about when it comes to some of this stuff. You know that there's standards that are out there that you can come up with. So they say, okay, listen, this is the regulation of we have for X system. Let's just use something, whatever you want to input there. And the minimum requirements is this by OSHA. So when you do these requirements, are you looking at those as minimum requirements? Or are you thinking this is what we're going to do and we're going to go above, or just what OSHA says, that's it? Now, I will tell you, for years and years and years and years and years, oh, and did I mention this yet? And for years, I exceeded whatever the minimum requirement was. I know sometimes some people can say that I would go as far as overdoing it because there was so many layers of what we would call protection inside of there. But with that being said, the problem that we ran into most of the time was that by having too much protection, we sometimes overcomplicated things. But then also noticing that the bare minimum requirement was sometimes not good enough. So what have you ran into? What have you seen inside of your systems? Are you overly doing what needs to be done? Or are you doing things where you're sitting around and going, maybe we've made this just too complicated? And here's my challenge to you. If you're looking at a system today and you're saying, hey, we've overcomplicated this, maybe it's time to refocus on changing what needs to be done. Like, seriously. Because here's the thing. I'm going to tell you that if you were to sit down with a group of your team members, employees, co-workers, however you want to call them, I am willing to tell you that if you say, listen, I'm seeing this process and it looks overly complicated. I don't understand why it's so complicated. And maybe we need to figure out a way to make it a little bit more calm. You will be amazed on what your coworkers, team members, employees can come up with. I have seen some of the strangest stuff come out of those conversations, and I mean like strange in a good way, where nobody would have ever had the expectancy that your team, coworkers, employees would have been able to break it down, figure out the solution to the problem that quickly. And the amazing part about it is that your employees, coworkers, and team members have done this work inside of that building, understand the scope, understand how the project is, that they will normally not go above what quote unquote the budget would be or the budget requirements would be, because they've already worked inside of this organization. Where when they bring somebody else in from the outside, then it always becomes kind of weird because there's so many different things going on. So that's where it gets a little bit strange. So what are you thinking? A lot of stuff going on there, like always. At least that's how I look at it. But what do I know, of course? So this would be my challenge for you today. Go out there. Take a look at something that might have been overcomplicated inside of your work joint, inside of your workplace, because we took something that was simple and took processes and said, no, this is not good enough because that's just the bare minimum. But now we went too far away for the other way because we were trying to overdo it by not being 100% sure on what needed to be done.
What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You are listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. It's all about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Embrace a daily boost of nature with Field of Greens. Discover the simple power of one scoop to elevate your well-being. Enjoy the flavor that appeals to you the most and let the blend of organic fruits and vegetables enhance your life. Experience the following benefits with Fields of Greens. Noticeable energy increase to power you throughout the day.
Improved quality of sleep.
Enhanced digestive comfort. and a general uplift in your wellness. Field of Green stands out with the selection of organically grown ingredients, each carefully picked for its benefits to your heart and overall health. We are confident that you'll appreciate the benefits of Field of Greens. If it doesn't meet your expectations, we offer a straightforward money-back guarantee. Jumpstart your health journey with a special offer, 15% off your first purchase plus complimentary expedited shipping. Just visit fieldofgreens.com and use the code SAFETYFM to redeem your discount. That's SAFETYFM at fieldofgreens.com. Experience nature's touch at fieldofgreens.com/SAFETYFM. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
Jay Allen in the morning, weekdays on Radio Big.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
You're being infiltrated. Radio Big.
Let me talk to you real quick. What is HelloFresh? With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Spend your time this month shopping for gifts and sipping cocoa, not stuck at the checkout line. Sign up for HelloFresh and get everything you need to whip up a fresh, tasty meal delivered to your door. Just choose your recipes, select a delivery date, and relax knowing that dinner is on its way. HelloFresh has over 45 recipes and more than 100 seasonal add-on items to choose from every week, so it's easier than ever to find something everyone will enjoy. Go to HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM free. That's HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM free to use the code SafetyFM free for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM free with code SafetyFM free. And don't forget that this is why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth. Through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
More hits to help you work. Because to get rich, you gotta work hard.
Yeah, dude, look, I just made so much money that I could just sit around on my ass all day and play video games.
Wait, I forgot about Dogecoin.
Dogecoin rules!
A visit from a friend, change anything. Time to pressure I feel is real. I wanna give in, I wanna give in. I'll give you the light when they're taken down. I'll be your guide on those days when you don't find your way home.
Okay, here we are, 45 minutes past the top of the hour, as you are hanging out here on the Rated R Safety Show. And this right here, Sydney Bryce with Hand in Hand. Give this song a little streamer-eamer action, available on Pandora, Apple Music, YouTube Music, and Spotify.
We go, we go, we go, we go.
Yep, we go. There you go. They're going. So there you go. Yep, they're going. They're going. They're going. Anyways, thanks to Sydney Bryce for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. No doubt about that, as we are doing our thing. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Right Love on Our Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And the people at To Right Love on Our Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, all kinds of information readily available for you, no doubt about that. It'll have stuff related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorder, self-injury, suicide, trauma, grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com. To Right Love on Her Arms, and where it says Find Help. So there you go. Okay, let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that is what we are always doing. So take a listen to this as we are talking TikTok. The newest TikTok beauty craze. Are you ready for this? Looking like you pulled an all-nighter, called the tired girl trend. It flips the usual idea of makeup on its head. Instead of covering the dark circles and pale skin, Gen Z is leaning into them. Think smudge eyeliner, shadowed underlines, lips that look a little purplish, basically glamorizing exhaustion. Jenna Ortega, channeling her Wednesday Addams character, has become the trend of poster girls. Even rocking the look of the red carpet. Other celebs like Lily Rose Depp, Emma Chamberlain are also added too. With TikTok tutorials racking up hundreds of thousands of views, fans are saying that it's less about perfection and more about honesty. A messy, undone, slightly rebellious aesthetic. On the one makeup artist puts it, realness with edge. Yep, with edge. Not like the guy from U2 or the wrestler, just in case. Also, Harriet moms everywhere are just like, just another day. We used to call that Monday morning at work, not a trend, but I guess, people are doing whatever it takes. I don't know. Sometimes I look at some of these trends that are coming in and I go, it's kind of stuff that I remember what was going on back in the 90s. I mean, and sometimes even earlier than that. Not that I should probably have the greatest memory of earlier than that, but hey, it was a thing back then. So there you go. I don't know. I mean, everything kind of cycles, circles, all that kind of fun stuff. So there you go in regards of what's going on. Okay, so what else do we have for you? Well, why don't we do this? How about I go ahead and I get my friend John Small ready. John Small. And let him come in here. Let him tell you about what's going on with the Motivation Minute. Because people care about this stuff. And I always think it's a great time when John comes in and he starts talking about the stuff that's happening. And like they used to say when I was a kid in Puerto Rico, los consejos del día. The suggestions for the day for you. So there you go. Let's bring some John Smalls in right now. Let him tell you about the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Ty. Elon Musk said, "Stop being patient and start asking yourself, how do I accomplish my 10-year plan in 6 months? You will probably fail, but you will be a lot further ahead of the person who simply accepted it was going to take 10 years. This is great advice. I worked for a manager who asked me to write out a plan for the following year. He wanted me to be detailed in which businesses I would call on and what I would present to them. This was a pretty big project, but I worked late and submitted the plan the next morning. Then he said, 'Great plan. Now, find a way to do this in a month.' I missed that goal, but I still did really well."
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute, courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. If you see a turtle on a fence post, you can be sure he didn't get there by himself. Natural ability, self-discipline, and hard work will only take you so far. To fulfill your ultimate destiny, you'll need some help along the way. David had his mighty men, and the Apostle Paul had a host of co-workers who enabled him to accomplish his vision. God will bring the people you need into your life, but it's up to you to recognize them and respond accordingly. Lord Jesus, thank you for all the godly people who helped this turtle get on the fence post. My fence post may not be very tall, but I would never have gotten here without them. Bless them, I pray. Your holy name. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
U.S. producer prices surged in July, marking the strongest increase in several months and adding pressure to forecasts for inflationary trends.
Economists caution that the uptick could influence Federal Reserve decisions on interest rates. The rise was largely attributed to elevated costs in manufacturing and energy sectors. Analysts warn this could complicate efforts to temper consumer price growth. Market watchers remain alert to data ahead from upcoming economic reports. Lawrence Keller reporting.
A joint military aid package from Germany and allied nations is set for deployment to Ukraine through a new NATO supply route.
The initiative is part of a broader effort to bolster Ukrainian defense amid persistent hostilities. The delivery is expected to enhance logistical efficiency and sustain ongoing operations. NATO officials emphasize its strategic importance in reinforcing deterrence along the Eastern Front. The package reflects sustained Western unity in support of Ukraine's sovereignty, Benjamin Wright reporting.
In Chilean Antarctica, arrested pilot who had been detained during a polar research mission has spoken out about the circumstances of the arrest. Joseph Eckerson reports.
The individual alleges miscommunication and procedural confusion led to the detention rather than any wrongdoing. Local authorities have yet to issue a detailed response regarding the incident. Meanwhile, researchers continue their scientific work unaffected by the legal proceedings.
This is the latest news headlines.
A man in Washington, D.C. has been charged with a felony after allegedly throwing a sandwich at a federal agent during heightened security operations.
The incident occurred amid increased federal enforcement as part of a new crime crackdown in the Capitol. Authorities say the suspect now faces formal assault charges following the widely circulated video. This development underscores the intensified tensions and visibility of law enforcement efforts. Kyle Norris reporting.
President Trump has announced plans to extend federal control over the Washington Police Department Department beyond the current emergency period, asserting a continued need for heightened oversight.
The move comes as part of his broader crime control initiative in the capital. Local leaders, including the city's mayor, have criticized the effort as an overreach into municipal governance. Legal analysts predict potential challenges ahead if congressional approval is not forthcoming. The situation reflects an ongoing tug of war between federal authority and local autonomy. Kevin Sanders reporting.
Tropical storm Erin, currently active in the Atlantic, is expected to intensify into the season's first hurricane by Friday.
Coastal communities are urged to monitor developments and prepare for potential storm impacts later this week. Emergency management officials recommend residents review evacuation plans and secure property. Jessica Oakley reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
We're rocking all day at work because we don't give a duck. Autocorrect probably just saved my ass there.
Like I give a flying, you know.
Oh, like you give a flying something, that's for sure. Okay, so let's start talking real quick about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 2020, Joe Biden is formally nominated as the Democratic Party's presidential candidate. The nomination, came during the second night of the first ever virtual virtual convention due to COVID-19. So there you go. That happened back on this date in 2020. Let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Max Charles turns 22. Parker McKenna Posey turns 30. Madeline Pelch turns 31. Francis Bean Coben turns 33. Richard Harmon turns 34. Andy Samberg turns 47. Katie Olson turns 50. Jacob Vargas turns 54. Christian Slater 56. Edward Norton 56 as well. Dennis Leary turns 68. Robert Wedford turns 89. And Roman Polanski turns 92 today. So there you go. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, well, let's see. I have one of those for you. It's National Couples Day. So there you go. If you need a rando for you, for the water cooler, here you get, a rando joke. Let me give you that one. It's I'm multitasking, procrastinating, and being unproductive at the same time. So there you go. Multitasking. What else do you got? If you need a phone starter for today, try this. What song should be the title of your memoir? Think about it. There's a lot of great songs. There's a lot of great titles out there. So there you go. What else? If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. A survey found that 6% of those who have tried to quit this were successful. What was it? And remember, 6% only. Caffeine. That will do the trick for you. So there you go. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time together. At the top of the hour, I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. I will be talking about the world of music and the world of entertainment and playing some music while we're at it at the same time, too. If you don't want to go over there, that's perfectly fine. And you want to stay here at Safety FM, you can hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. So there you go. There you go. So that's going to sum up the whole thing. If I can't leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. Do not let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. Think about that one, because that's a different kind of one. That's how do I like to say it? We'll go via Van Halen here. It's a different kind of truth, if you know what I'm saying. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
People